Good morning everybody, episode number 4 today of Muscle Game Mondays, and today we're going to go a little bit old school. We're going to make a spaghetti bolognese from scratch. So ingredients wise, we've got our little flavour pot there, really helps. Got our all day seasoning, which I use in all my videos, I love this stuff. Carne passata, we've got 750 grams of lean beef mince here. I'm obviously cooking for 2. So I'm going to cook all the mince at once, but the rest of the recipe will be a serving for one meal. Obviously you're not having all 750 grams in one serving, that's insane. So I've got 100 grams of dry whole wheat pasta here, about half a courgette chopped up, garlic clove and an onion there as well. So that's basically everything that's going to go into the mince and the sauce, and obviously the pasta is going to be cooked separately. Right, so got a tablespoon of olive oil cooking in the pan. It's been cooking for a little while. Electric hob takes a while to warm up. So we're just going to dump the mince in, start to stir that up. Obviously going to brown that. So I have washed my hands, don't worry. So we've got a little bit of paper on. That's what you want, guys, yeah. When you first put it on, you do want it fairly hot. You want it to sizzle, otherwise a lot of the juices tend to run out of the meat, and then it just means you have to dump it all off. Okay guys, I'm just going to quickly show you something before we add the onions and the courgettes, and you just see that a lot of the water and the fat from the meat is spilled off to the side. It's not going to kill you, but I prefer to scoop it out because it just helps everything simmer a little bit quicker, and obviously it does make the dish slightly leaner as well if you scoop that out. So grab a spoon over the sink and scoop as much of that out as you can get out. Yeah, I always recommend cooking on a high heat, guys, just because you do want things to sizzle. It sounds satisfying, and it just gives everything a bit of extra crunch. Just gonna grab that bit up. And then courgettes in there as well. So again guys, we're going to cook these for a couple of minutes just like we did with the beef. Get it all browned off, and then we're going to start adding bits and pieces to it. Right guys, they're browned off nicely now. So the next step, I've already cut the top off here. Just going to add this carne passata. I prefer to use this over chopped tomatoes just because, as you can see, there's a lot more of it and it's a lot more liquidy, so it kind of really enables us to then simmer for a while and really get the flavours going. And then keep the heat nice and high, guys, so it does actually simmer. Right, next step, one of my favourite little toys. This is a garlic peeler. Just pop the garlic in there. And then you can hold over the dish there. Just dump the garlic in there. So this is all for the extra flavouring, guys. So garlic's going in there. Make sure you get as much of it in as you can. Dry seasoning. Again, don't hold back. Doesn't really add any extra calories. You get plenty in there. Obviously, you know, this is a big pot of food here, so plenty of seasoning in there. And then these things are fantastic, they really add a lot of flavour. These are brilliant, you just kind of let them melt into the middle, and then obviously you can stir them around, stir them in. Right guys, so we just finished boiling the kettle here for the pasta, so the hob's on, as you can see. This just saves time really. So bring that across. Obviously it will take a little while to get back up to boiling temperature, but then when it does we can add the pasta in there and just simmer the two things side by side. Get a decent amount of water in obviously. And then guys, as you can see, our flavour pot's really going to work in here now. Just going to give that a little stir around, and then once I'm happy with it, I'm going to pop the lid on, and that's pretty much all you need to do. You can just check this periodically afterwards and give it a little stir every so often, but yeah, just to let it simmer away nicely, really get the flavours in there. Lid goes on. Heat stays relatively high. Obviously if it's looking like it's going too crazy, you can just take the heat down as and when. And And then as soon as that's ready, guys, the pasta's going in. Right, so as we can see, water's bubbling up nicely now. So it's time for our Bruce Lee. Snap that. Try not to make too much of a mess. Pop that in there. You can tell I've done this before, can't you? In it goes. Let that simmer away, and obviously it'll get a lot easier to stir in once it's softened up a little bit. Beef's bubbling away nicely, looks delicious, smells great. Again, if you see it getting too kind of oily on top, pop the lid off, give it a little stir, but otherwise you can just leave that as it is. There you go, guys, another episode out of the way. Quick note, just to remind you, so 200 grams raw of the mince has gone into this, so just under a third of the total pot has gone onto this plate, with 100 grams dried whole wheat spaghetti. So adding that all together, macro count comes to 660 calories there or thereabouts, 65 grams of protein, 70 grams of carbs in this particular recipe, and about 11 or 12 grams of fat in the whole thing. So clear muscle building meal. I hope it tastes as good as it smells. As always, guys, please be subscribing to the page, clicking that thumbs up button, and leaving comments for anything you would like to see in future episodes. Have a great week, guys. This is Paul, Get Yours Online Training. We'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.